All good. Good to see you guys. Thank you for being here and continual coverage of our program and our student athletes. I sure appreciate it. Respect the job that you do. Was good to be back around our team this morning. You know, Sunday for them, win, lose, or draw, it's the same format. They come in and spend some time in the weight room and a stretch and stride. Try to flush the game physically from moving on, soreness, treatment, those things. And then Monday morning we review the game, make corrections, extended meeting time, and then get on to the next opponent. And then we go out for a little bit under or right at an hour practice. And I thought we had good energy. I think we will learn, or did learn, have an opportunity to look at the mistakes that we had on Saturday, how we can prepare and correct those and be a better football team moving forward. Excited to learn that Jose was Player of the Week in our conference, in the Mountain West Conference, for Special Teams Player of the Week, very well deserved. And Jaden was as the Freshman of the Week in the Mountain West Conference. And you look at our conference right now, in year 25 of a really, really strong conference. We've got the strongest strength of schedule up to this point in college football. Our conference does. And you look at week in and week out, the way that our conference is playing, it's performing at a high level. We understand that we've got one more opportunity before we get into conference play, but the Mountain West is making some noise, and I'm honored to be a part of it. Our performance from Saturday, some really, really high points, some areas that we have to get fixed or we won't become a complete team. We had too many penalties that will affect us. You look at the number of plays we give up explosive-wise on the defensive side. We've got to get that fixed, and if not, we don't stand a chance. And then offensively, the consistency of how we can play and need to play, we've got to continue to work to improve those things. And if we do that, we can become a really good football team. But it's going to take mental toughness, it's going to take extra effort, it's going to take the discipline and the habits and the consistency every single day and every single moment to do that. And as soon as we cheat that process, the results will not be what we want them to be. It's a very, very boring, monotonous process, but it works, and we've seen it work, and we've got to continue to strive for us to be our best in every area. And if we do that, our habits throughout the week will become game day reality, and that doesn't change. So now the sprint to get to El Paso and to get in position to try to play winning football against, I believe, a very, very good football team. I think Dana Dimmel has done a tremendous job I think he's in year 6 there. They're tough, they're physical, they're big, they're athletic. They want to run and have success running the ball on offense. And then they've got a couple of receivers that are mismatch problems. Their quarterback's playing well. And then defensively, structurally, there'll be some similarities on what we've seen the last couple of weeks, but they're active and they're so very well coached. So we need to have a great week, and we understand the importance of this game and what we need to do preparation-wise to give our kids a chance to play winning ball. So be happy to answer any questions if I can.
Coach, with all of the different styles and schemes that you faced in the non-conference, how does this prepare you for the Mountain West Conference season?
I think it's great preparation. You don't know how that's going to fit throughout. You look at your first 4 games for us, the way our schedule lays out, the non-conference games. There'll be elements of what we've seen already that show up this week at UTEP. They present some opportunities and challenges in the things that they do schematically on offense that will be different on what we've seen up to this point. And then you get into conference play, and each week it's going to be, it's a challenge on how well can we build the playbook, how well can we build the situational football calls against what we're trying to see and defend, and then offensively what we need to block. So a lot of really, really good coaches in our league, and every week will be a great test on how we can prepare our team.
What is Doug Brumfield's status?
Yeah, he was very limited today. I would suggest that tomorrow he'll be able to go through more of practice than he did today. I think we'll see steady improvement each day, and hopefully that we can get him before the end of the week. We'll get him in position to play really well.
So is the plan for him to start on Saturday if he can play?
If he's healthy, he's our starting quarterback. And a lot of that will determine on how well he can get, how he feels, and then has he had enough reps during the week to be able to play the way that position needs to play. So whoever is at quarterback, I know that our guys will be excited. They'll prepare really well, and we'll do our best to get the team in position that we understand whoever's playing, the 10 guys around them need to play really, really well. If we do that, we can be an efficient offense.
Did you see on film even more resiliency from your guys than you perhaps even thought watching it live? And can you talk about Jaden's resiliency to come back up the field?
Yeah, I
and make
think
that play?
there were a lot of moments that we were able to teach from that showed that. You know, we talk about it. You talk about hope and vision and belief, and then when you see some of those things happen that matches up, it gives a little more validation to some of the things that we're trying and attempting to do in our program and what it takes to win a game. And you start out 17-0. That's stunning. That's hard to overcome. I think the kickoff return sparked us, gave us some energy there, and then we just kept battling. And then if anybody could draw up how the end of the game went, I lost track on the sideline. I mean, it was just back and forth and big plays, and guys kept making plays, and we obviously needed it to have a chance to win. And then with Jaden stepping in and the way he competed and played, we all wish he could have had that throw back, the interception, but to be able to rebound in short order and go play the way that he did to finish the games, that's credit to him and his mental toughness and resolve.
Do you feel like the team's work habits, going back to spring ball through fall practice and now into the season, have developed to where you're confident the possibility of slippage from what you did Saturday won't carry over to this week?
I look at every single day, I believe, and maybe this is the wrong way to look at it, I don't know, but I always believe as soon as you take a breath and have any moment of you relax, there's somebody waiting around the corner to knock you out. And we understand our margin of error as a team is absolutely zero. And for us to be able to play winning football, how important we need to prepare, what that's supposed to look like, the urgency. There are so many things that we could accomplish in this season, but we've got to be on every single day. And if we're not, then I will never believe you stay the same. You absolutely do not. So you're working to improve, or you take steps backwards. And we have no room other than blinders on and moving forward. So I do believe our team will follow our staff. And I'm not allowed to have a bad day. So let's lace it up, see how good we can get, and stay on the mission.
Coach, Jose has scored 30 points for you guys this season, Special Teams Player of the Week. What are you seeing from him week in and week out for you guys?
I think there's consistency. Has he missed two? Has he missed 2 field goals? He's missed 1 total. So he should be at 33 points. I think his demeanor looks at the way he plays and practices is he brings a lot to the table. He's got respect in the locker room. We understand offensively where we need to get field position wise. Should be an automatic 3, and the snap, the hold, the protection, and then he's been spot on, and so happy for his success. And he's going to win some games down the stretch for us in either it's a 3-point or the extra point is so critical. You never want to assume that it's just going through the uprights, but he has provided confidence for our entire team, and that's good to have for sure.
Earlier in the season, you were talking about some of the big pass plays that you guys had just missed on.
Yeah.
And to hit some of those, especially in crucial situations this week, does that help maybe just the confidence of the team, or just the outlook, just that you guys have done it now and you can say, like, well, this works?
Man, it should, shouldn't it? I mean, it does me. but I choose to be positive on it. I think, and even though there's different quarterbacks playing, I think, you gain confidence from that. You gain confidence in being able to protect up front for long enough to connect on it. You gain confidence in running the route and understanding what that's supposed to be. Ball placement is so important. And Ricky, the other day, on the last catch there, he had to make a body adjustment slightly behind him. That's hard to do when you're running full speed and then the ball's a little bit underthrown and you've got a defender there, and his ability to slow down just enough and body position, turn around and make a catch, and stay in bounds and try to get as many yards as he can, understanding he needed to stop the clock if he wasn't going to score. Those decisions are made, you don't have time to think about them. So I think, yes, confidence, to answer your question, I think that's growing, and I think through practice, habits, and execution, those things will continue to get better in our favor.
Coach, after Jackson Woodard went out of the game, talk about your linebackers, especially Fred Thompkins, and what they did to step up.
It's amazing. Fred played, and he's going to visit with you guys when I'm finished. He played 88 snaps the other day, and he played 88 snaps of winning football. And, the special teams that he's on the role that he has is huge for the success of our teams. But 88 snaps is a lot of ball, and we counted on him to be able to do that, and he did it. And then Shelton came in and played a number of different spots the other day, played really well. Marcel McDuffie was gone from the game, attending a funeral. So we were down, on paper, we were down our 2 starting linebackers. And I thought the guys that stepped in did a really, really good job for our team. Fred, I don't remember exact stat line, but was in on a number of tackles. Had a cause fumble, is that right? And, huge plays that ultimately gave us a chance to win the game. And that's the way he has prepared. That's the way that he practices every day. And I'm sure and proud of his efforts.
Coach, to what degree did Jaden's reps in the first 2 games that he got help him in this game?
I think any experience will help someone, especially at that position. You get into the arena, and if you've been there before, you've got a little bit of comfort. He's a confident kid, quietly, but also he prepares as well as anybody in the program. So I think, the moment was not too big for him. He understood what he needed to do as far as running the offense and being in control. There's obviously ways that he will play better, and he understands that too. He's not, he's hungry to be really good, which is awesome at that spot.
Your defense really kept you in the game when you guys went down 17-0. You mentioned the resiliency, but what else did you kind of learn about that side of your team?
Yeah, they're playing hard. You see, I thought for the first time Saturday, you really saw us starting to swarm the football and populate the ball and get a number of guys around it. This defense is built to have, if you're going to have success, you better have team speed, and then you better use it. And, the ability to create 4 turnovers. I know 1 was in the kicking game, so created 3, scored on one of those. That's so huge to have a chance to win the game. And I think we're starting to understand, the calls within the call, how you can use the help around you, how you can play free and fast. And the only way you can do that is preparation throughout the week. Because then you gain trust in your teammates and yourself, and then you gain the confidence that it takes to go now in the moment to go execute and do it at a high level.
You mentioned that kind of trust. How important was it for your offense to kind of pick them up at the end when it looked like they were a little gassed?
Yeah, we all know how important it is for us to play complementary football in all 3 phases. We've got to lean on each other because we're in it together, and there's going to be days that one side or the other needs help, and we've got to bail the other side out, so to speak. And when we do that and we play together, and you could feel it on the sideline for the first time. And I challenged our team. I didn't. Week 1 against Bryant, there were moments we had energy, but not for 4 quarters the way it's supposed to look. Okay? Michigan, same thing. So there was a challenge there. Our team accepted that and played that way. Played with real emotion. And we've got to do it. That's that's got to be who we are, because the game is supposed to be played with energy and emotion, and you as a team can feed off of that, and both sides, and especially in the kicking game.
You mentioned energy and emotion. I mean, going back to last year, that's how people described Jure. He seemed like he was really important to that game the other day. How important is he to this defense, and what do you see from him in that game?
Yeah, he was voted as a team captain, and that vote came from his teammates, so obviously there's respect in the locker room. A huge play on the fumble return for a score. What a great pitch. I'm going to get that picture put up somewhere. They had 9 guys leading him into the end zone. It was awesome. But he's a playmaker, and, he's got the ability to make impactful plays, and this defense certainly needs that.
Ricky White got targeted, I think it was 15 times. So was that a quarterback change thing or play calling?
Well, I think they were direct in the building the offense of the week on trying to get some of those targets to Ricky and Jacob, and some design things to try to get them involved sooner than we did the previous week. And I think, anytime he's got an opportunity to be targeted that many times and we connect, then he can be a difference maker. So that'll be huge for us moving forward for sure.
Ricky also got a real high grade on PFF for his run blocking. So can you talk about his run blocking and the importance of the receivers?
I think on the film, and this morning we show 2 good clips from the offense, 2 from the defense, and this morning we showed 1 on special teams. But one of the touchdown runs by Jet, the backside 2 receivers, and I don't remember if it was Ricky, Seneca, and they made. I don't know that the secondary on that side would have been able to make the play, but how do you play when the ball's not in your hands? That's so important. And those 2, they had knockdowns on the second and third level that were huge for just how you play the game and how you're supposed to play. So I think the opportunity to block, you never know. That was part of the message. You don't know when your block is going to make the difference in turning a 5-yard gain into a 25-yard gain, and a 25-yarder into a house call. So those things are so important, and how much it depends on all 11 guys doing their job every snap.
Outside of Jose, who was really impressed you on special teams this year?
Oh, man, if you look, I think all but one, we've been really good snapping the ball. Harden's been good snapping. You normally hear about that if it's not good. So we've been good there. I think our hold have been good throughout the course of the I think if you look at the effort of the other team on field goal block, and then how the team runs down the field on kickoff coverage, I think you can tell a lot about the mindset of a football team. And Jackson Turner on our field goal block team has given us a chance and a little bit of space there to possibly, if we'll keep coming with relentless effort, that group will become what it needs to be. Our kickoff coverage team has been solid. We had one the other day. We changed up on the placement of the kick and didn't cover it as well, but other than that, it's been solid. Our net punt has been an advantage for us. Again, we walked out of this game, and every time we started on the field offensively, we had a gain of 4 yards compared to our opponent. If you do that over the course of a game, those numbers and the hidden yardage, they add up tremendously. So our special teams groups have been so important to our success, and our guys have bought into that because they see the difference that it's made. And the guys that are on the return game, either punt return or kick return, they understand, if they do their job, they've got an opportunity that our returner can be an elite guy, and he can go from anywhere on the field and get it in the end zone, and that will probably provide us an opportunity to get a few more yards just because of knowing who's back there and the strain that we can have to go finish a block or maintain and stay on the block, how important those are to our success.
What is Brumfield's injury, and just have you seen progression in the 2
Yeah, it's anywhere from rib to hip, and just he's really sore, and so we're working through that, and luckily that seems like it's muscular type injuries, soft tissue injuries. So fortunately, there's nothing that'll be long-term.
What's the status of B.J. Harris? Because I think he wasn't
Yeah,
suited
he
up. Was
had,
he at the game?
he had on Thursday's practice, he broke his thumb, and it was displaced enough that he had to have a surgical procedure. He'll be back as soon as we can get, you know, the swelling down and some of those things. So, you know, he ended up going through finishing a play, trying to break up a ball, and it ended up breaking his thumb. So he'll be out this week, but soon returning.
Is Jordan Morgan also injured?
He's not.
What did you think of your guys' O-line play? A couple penalties early, but it seemed like they kind of figured out near that.
Yeah, we didn't, the first at least 2 to 3 series of the game, we didn't start well at all up front. And some of that now, you know, one of the sacks, it was the running back. So it's easy to say, oh, the quarterback's under pressure. Well, there's 5 offensive linemen there. In that specific call, there was a running back, you know, and sometimes it's tight end. So it's easy to lump it together. Well, we didn't protect very well. It's all on the offensive line. That's not necessarily the case. We need to play more consistent. I thought the offsides calls, you know, we had 3 on the O-line. We had 2 on the O-line, 1 on the tight end. We hadn't had 1 all year. I think a little bit of that were some communication on the defensive side that could have caused that. But we've got to be better than that, and we anticipate that and expect that we will. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Ricky, on the last, your final catch there of the night, what was your awareness of the time remaining, no more timeouts, all of that?
Really, it was a critical situation. Obviously, you know, time was running out. We had to get a play down the field. I feel like Coach Marion made the right call. You know, we executed well and made the play.
Were you aware of the time left on the clock?
Yes, sir.
Ricky, can you talk about how many reps you've had with Jaden, you know, this year and the chemistry you guys have built?
We've done a lot of reps at practice. You know, he comes in. You know, even when Doug's, you know, tired or anything at practice, I feel like there's no fall off between our QBs really. Jaden's young, but he's also mature at the QB position. So, like I said, I feel like I have the same chemistry as I will with Doug, with Jaden.
Fred, was it deflating when Jackson Woodard went out of the game knowing that you were without Marcel McCuffey?
Yeah, it was, but Coach Shearer does a good job of getting us prepared throughout the week. So it sucked losing them, but we were prepared.
Fred, what corrections do you want to see from the defense moving forward this week?
I think we played pretty good, but I would say, you know, probably better eyes. You know, we can just run to the ball faster, even though we did a good job of that, though, last week.
Fred, what can a win like that do for a team early in the season with a new coaching staff? What can that do just for the buy-in and the belief in the team?
It can do a lot. Momentum is a real thing, and that can get us rolling going forward. You know, everybody buying in, practicing harder, working harder. Everybody's just playing together, so that could be really good for us.
Fred, what were you guys saying on the sideline when Brumfield went down? Because that can be incredibly deflating, and all of a sudden it's time for you guys to really step up.
It definitely sucked. It definitely we felt it throughout the sideline, definitely. But you know, like Ricky said, there's not too much of a drop off between 1 and 2. So we were faithful in Jaden for sure.
Ricky, you saw your targets go up a little bit this week, but Coach Odom just praised your run blocking. What are some of the keys for you in the run blocking game from the wideout spot?
Basically, I just want to be physical. Coach Alexander does a good job of just make sure all of our unit as a receiver just be physical. And I feel like us being physical, it definitely helps the running back, you know, break long runs down the field. And, you know, it translates.
Ricky, what have you seen on special teams this season, and how is that an X factor for you guys?
Coach Shivas does an excellent job at special team. He breaks down, you know, everything that needs to be broken down. So, we take special teams very serious here. A lot of our skilled players, that play offense and defense, does special teams to, make a big impact.
Fred, 88 snaps, how did you get through that? Was it mostly adrenaline towards the end of the game?
No, we do a lot of reps throughout the week, so I was taking reps. But Coach Fish got us right throughout the summer and winter, so just kept going out there playing, just doing my job, and then eventually the game was over. So
Fred, which special teams units do you play on?
I play on all of them.
All four?
Yeah.
So is there a point where you're like, maybe I shouldn't play special teams today since my role is so big?
No, I was just focusing on doing my job.
Why do you like special teams?
I feel like a lot of people take that play off, so I feel like that's an opportunity for us to go in and take advantage, like a kick return, punt return, or it's just them fumbling the snap, and we get the ball at the 13-yard line. So,
For both of you, what were the vibes like in the locker room after that win?
Excitement.
It's turn for sure.
Vanderbilt's a good team. We expected it going in, but we were definitely excited, happy for each other. But we want to put that week behind us now. To the next week, we're gonna keep working.
Anything else?
One more. Fred, late in the game, watching the TV replay, you were jawing a little bit with number 4, so I just wondered what was the back and forth with some of the running backs. I think you put a sword in or something.
Seatbelt.
Oh, okay, there's a seatbelt.
Yeah, I put the seatbelt on because he was strapped up. But I told him we guard VD and Courtney Reese all day, so I can guard you whenever. So.
Good. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,